Hi, this is Lisa Somerville for Divinity Designs. Today I'm here to share with you the release for July 2022. This month we are releasing 3 custom dies, 2 foiling plates, 1 slimline embossing folder, and 3 6x9 slimline sized paper pad collections. The dies being released this month: mini slimline pierced frames. This is a set of 3 and it coordinates with the mini slimline card base and our mini slimline die collection. Here you can see the 3 different sizes of the mini slimline pierced frames. The largest die in this die set covers the mini slimline card base. And here you can see the largest die from this die set over a piece of pattern paper from our Sunset Skies paper pad collection. And here you can see the largest die from this die set along with some of our decorative dies from our mini slimline die collection. The next die set is the flip-flops layering combo. This is a set of 8 dies. You'll die cut and layer all of the dies together to create the dimensional flip-flops. You have the bottom layer, the middle layer, the top layer, and then the tongs for the flip-flops. To adhere my panels together, I used Barely Art Craft glue on the back side, and then I layered all the panels together. For added dimension on the tongs on the flip-flops, I die cut this multiple times and then I stacked them together. Shown here is layer 1 on top of layer 2, and layers 1, 2, and 3. Here's just layers 1 and 3. So on the right, I have layers 1 and 3, and on the left, I have layers 1, 2, and 3. The next die set is the surprise box card with layers. This is a set of 10 dies. You have the base die and 3 layering dies, along with the front panel die and 3 layering dies, and 2 divider dies. The base die will die cut and score for you. When using the layering dies, be sure to die cut and emboss following the directions for your die cutting machine, as embossing will bring out the details of the die. There are complete instructions inside the packaging so that you can easily create this fun fold card. And here's the surprise box card along with the layers. Later in this video, I'll show you just how easy it is to assemble this fun fold card. Next, we have 2 new foiling plates. You can always tell our foiling products because they're printed in yellow on the packaging and on our website. When using our foiling plates, you're going to need a foiling machine along with a coordinating die cutting machine. This first foiling plate is the leaf background foiling plate. This is designed to be used with A2 cards. Again, to use this foiling plate, you need both a foiling machine and a die cutting machine. Here's a sample using this foiling plate with rainbow foil on black glossy cardstock. And here it is in rose gold foil on white cardstock. To use the negative area of your foiling so that you're not wasting any of your foiling, you can foil using our solid foiling plate. Here's the positive foiling, and here's the negative foiling. Again, there's the positive foiling. And here's my negative foiling. Again, you'll follow the directions for your foiling machine. You'll heat up the foil die on the foiling plate. You'll place the foil pretty side down on top of the foiling plate. Then add your cardstock and any shims you might be needing. After the timer goes off, you'll remove the plate from your foiling machine and then run that through your die cutting machine. That'll leave you with beautiful foiled paper that you can use on your projects. The next foiling plate is the Floral Flourishes foiling plate. This is a set of 2. And here you can see the longer floral flourish done in rainbow foil on white cardstock. This panel was then die cut and embossed using one of our slimline dies. And on this card, I used the corner floral flourishes in both the top and lower corner. The Mr. and Mrs. is from our Mr. and Mrs. Layers 2 die set. And just like with our leaf background foiling plate, here you can see that I also created a negative panel using the Floral Flourishes foiling plate. So again, the positive is on this card, and here's the negative. Again, when using our foiling plates, you're going to need both a foiling machine and a die cutting machine. The embossing folder being released this month is the Slimline Palm Leaves. This embossing folder is 6 by 9. Here you can see the embossing done on a smaller A2 piece of cardstock, and after embossing, I simply swiped the raised area with white pigment ink to make the embossing stand out more. On these 2 panels, I used the wax paper resist to create a resist using the embossing folders. You can see more tips using our embossing folders on one of our past Tuesdays tutorials videos. And last, I have 3 new slimline paper pads to share with you. Each of these paper pads are 6 by 9. They contain 30 designer papers, 5 sheets of each design. First is the Pretty Patterns 1 paper pad. And here are the papers found in this paper pad collection. Next, we have Pretty Patterns 2, and the papers in this collection. And Pretty Patterns 3. And here are the papers in this collection. Again, Pretty Patterns 1, 2, and 3 are 6 by 9 paper pads. They feature 30 designer papers, 5 sheets of each design. Next, we're going to create a few cards using some of the products found in the July 2022 release, along with additional Divinity Designs products. For this card, we're going to be using the mini slimline pierced frames, the flip-flops layering combo, the mini slimline card base, the beautiful Beaches paper pad. I'm also using the All Occasion Foiling Die Duo. This is a set of 2. It includes the foiling plate and the coordinating die. Foil all the words at once, and then use the coordinating die to die cut all the foiled words. So here you can see I have all the pieces die cut, foiled, and embossed that we're going to need to create this card. I have the largest die from the mini slimline pierced frames, my pattern paper that was die cut and embossed using one of the mini slimline rectangle dies, along with the mini slimline card base. If you need mini slimline envelopes, we do carry the mini slimline envelope dies so that you can easily create coordinating envelopes for your cards. Again, the flip-flops layering combo die is a set of 8. You'll die cut these dies from cardstock or pattern paper. You have layer 1, 2, and 3, and then the tongs for the flip-flops. Use Barely Art glue to adhere these panels together. I'm going to adhere my panels together off camera. Again, for added dimension on the flip-flop tongs, I die cut these from multiple pieces of cardstock and then layer them together. When die cutting your intricate dies, our tool-in-one makes it really easy to remove any unwanted cardstock from the openings of your dies. There's also a piercing end at the other end of the tool-in-one. Now that my flip-flops are assembled, we're going to go ahead and adhere the rest of our die cut pieces to form our card base. The mini slimline pierced frame will go over the pattern paper, and then we'll adhere that to the card base. Again, the largest die in the mini slimline pierced frames die set completely covers your mini slimline card. Then you can embellish your card using the die cut flip-flops from the flip-flops layering combo die set and the foiled word from the all occasion foiling die duo set. Next, we're going to create 2 more quick cards using the mini slimline pierced frames along with additional Divinity Designs products. For this card, I have the largest die from the mini slimline pierced frames, a piece of pattern paper that was die cut from the Sunset Skies paper pad collection using our mini slimline dies, the mini slimline card base, and also a foiled word using the all occasion foiling die duo set. Again, this card is quick and simple. We're going to let the Sunset Skies paper pad collection be the focal point of our card. We're going to adhere the largest die from the mini slimline pierced frames to this panel, adhere that to the card base, and then adhere the foiled word. And now we're going to create one final card using the largest die from the mini slimline pierced frames along with additional Divinity Designs products. So in addition to the mini slimline pierced frames, I'm using the mini slimline card base, the Floral Flourishes foiling plate, the Bold Blessings foiling die duo. This is a set of 2. It includes the foiling plate and the coordinating dies so that you can easily die cut those foiled words all at one time. I'm also using the solid foiling plate, and I use the negative area of the foil on black cardstock as shown here. Shown here is the positive of the foiling, where I have silver foil on black cardstock, and shown here is the negative, where I have the black cardstock showing through the silver foil. Again, here's another example of the positive and negative foiling using this foiling plate. And here's an example of negative and positive foiling using the leaf background foiling plates. The paper I'm using comes from the Pretty Patterns 3 paper pad. Die cut the frame from the paper pad using the largest die from the mini slimline pierced frames die set. I did die cut it an additional time from cardstock to make the frame a little bit thicker and sturdy. The foiling die was foiled from rainbow foil on white cardstock. Again, to use our foiling dies, you're going to need a foil machine along with a die cutting machine. You'll center the foiled image within the opening of the mini slimline pierced frames. Adhere that to the mini slimline base card, and then embellish using the foiled word from the Bold Blessings foiling die duo set. To further embellish my card, I added some rhinestones to the center of the flowers. And there you have 3 quick cards using the mini slimline pierced frames die set along with additional Divinity Designs products. The pierced frame die sets are also great for creating shaker cards. Next, I'm going to share with you the tutorial for creating the surprise box card with layers die set found in the July 2022 release. Again, this is a set of 10 dies. It features the base die and 3 layering dies, the front panel die and 3 layering dies, and 2 divider dies. Again, complete instructions can be found inside the packaging. Shown here is the base die, which die cuts and scores for you, along with the layering panels that have been die cut and embossed and adhered in place, and the divider tabs. The surprise box with layers die set does fold flat and fits into an A2 envelope. Here you can see I've already die cut and embossed all the pieces I'm going to need to create my surprise box card with layers. The base card, the front panel card, and the dividers were all die cut from white cardstock. The layering dies were all die cut and embossed using the pink poinsettias slimline paper pad. The 6x9 paper pad collection features 32 designer papers, 8 sheets of each design. You can use this die set with or without the layers. In this video, I'm going to be using the layering dies. When using the layering dies, be sure to die cut and emboss, following the directions for your die cutting machine. Embossing will bring out the detail of the dies. That's the embossed edge that you see around the pattern paper layers. The base die was die cut from 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You can use removable tape to hold that cardstock within the die so that it doesn't shift as you're die cutting. On the base card die, you'll fold on the score lines. You can fold in half and then fold it over. You can then use a bone folder for a nice crisp score. And here you can see the cardstock folded on the score lines. We have a mountain fold and a valley fold. You'll fold your front panel die on the score lines. You can see I have mountain fold, and a valley fold. Now before moving on to the next step, I'm going to add adhesive to the back side of my die cut and embossed layering pieces and add those to the base panel and to the front panel. So here you can see the base die, and I've added 2 of the die cut and embossed layering panels. I'm going to add this panel after I adhere the front panel die in place. And here you can see the front panel die where I've added the die cut and embossed layering panels. I'm going to turn over the front panel die, and I'm going to add adhesive to this panel here and then to the tab here. You'll then adhere the front panel to the base. Again, you can see only that right panel there has the adhesive on it. And then I'm going to add the other end with the tab side down and press firmly. Then I can apply the adhesive to the back side of this layering panel and adhere in place. This panel will cover the tab that you see on the inside. When using the divider die, you're going to die cut from heavyweight cardstock, then fold on both score lines. I folded one tab forward and then one backward. I'm going to add adhesive to the tabs, and I'm going to center evenly into the opening of the card. You can then repeat that process with the additional dividers that you plan on using with your card. To embellish this card, I'm going to be using the Holy Night die. This is a set of 4. Be sure to die cut and emboss this die following the directions for your die cutting machine. Anytime you see 2 shades of purple on the packaging or web images, that does indicate that you should emboss your dies for best results. The additional custom dies I'm going to be using are the Pierced Vintage Labels 2 and the Vintage Labels 2 die sets. And I'm also going to be using the Good Tidings stamp set. This is a set of 4. I gold embossed the sentiment on a piece of pattern paper from the pink poinsettias paper pad, then die cut it using the Vintage Labels 2 die set and layered that on top of a die cut panel that was die cut and embossed from white cardstock using the Pierced Vintage Labels 2 die set. And here's my finished card using the surprise box card with layers die set along with additional Divinity Designs products. You can see when I used the Holy Night die, I did die cut and emboss this die, and then I cut it down to fit the surprise box card with layers die set. Before I share with you the design team inspiration, I'm going to share with you a closer look at the cards that I created using the July release along with additional Divinity Designs products. This is a surprise box card with layers die set. The pattern paper is from the Pretty Patterns 3 paper pad, also found in the July release. Another surprise box card with layers. Again, this card folds flat and fits into an A2 envelope. The leaf background foiling plate. I have 3 cards using the mini slimline pierced frame die set. This card also uses the Floral Flourishes foiling plates. And this card uses the Flip Flops layering combo die set, also found in the July release. And then an A2 card using the Floral Flourishes foiling plates. If you have any questions about the products used on these cards or the design team cards, you can use the leave a message button on our website to send us an email. For more inspiration using these and other Divinity Designs products, visit the product pages on our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Pinterest and Instagram.